morning, guys. Morning, Jeff. Reaches you? I'm still in the T-Mobile commercial. Keep it to that. Oh, I couldn't possibly.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Bahashem, Kakadash, Rakabam, to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwa, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of the annual, this is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of October the 28th, 2025, on this Tuesday night. And you had this is from RT.com. As of October 29th, 2025, reads, mystery drone downs near U.S. Russian base close to Russia, NATO state reports. Estonia claims that two identified UAVs were flying near a barracks at the Camp Rido. It says an unidentified drone was shot down near a base housing U.S. troops in southeastern Estonia, close to the Russian border. The ballistic nation military has announced the incident occurs at the Camp Rido, which hosts 5th Squadrons of the U.S. Army's 7th Cavalry Regiment. It says the unit arrives in February to replace troops from the 30th Infantry Regiment. It says allies detect drones flying any minute. Vicinity of the 2nd Infantry Bridge Camp at 4:30 p.m. October 17, which is one was brought down using an anti-drone rifle. Estonia Defense Forces spokesperson Lais Vansman told the Post-Times on Tuesday. She added that the down of the UAV has not been recovered. It says NATO has dispatched an additional fighter jets to patrol the eastern flank after Poland accused Russia of violating its airspace more than dozens of drones on September 9th. In a separate incident a week later, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said that the Belarusian nationals were detained for flying a UAV over the government building in Warsaw, Moscow, denying involvement in both cases. It says on September 19, Estonia claims that 3 Russian MiG-31 jets entered its airspace and remained there more than 10 minutes. The Russian defense minister stated that the flight was carried out in a strict accordance with the international law and did not violate the borders of any country. It's the book of Matthew, 24 verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars or rumors of wars. Right, we've been seeing close encounters between NATO and Russia throughout the years recently. And ever since then, for the past 2.5 months, and as of now, tensions definitely been heating up between Russia and NATO. And you got the Russia-Ukraine situation, which we're so used to it on a daily basis. Those times that been heating up as well too. So these are modern day building up wars and rumors of wars. It says, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled for all these things must first come to pass, but there is not yet. Right, so it's going to come to pass, but not going to edge yet. That Yahweh spoke about in red letter. Matthew 24 verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, which goes into ethnos, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, so we've been seeing an increase in earthquakes, increase in pestilence, increase in famines, increasing nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and the increasing uptick of wars and rumors of wars. As it says again, a mystery drone downs near U.S. Army base close to Russia, the NATO state reports. Estonia claims that 2 identified UAVs flying near the Camp Rido. And especially that comes with the ongoing tensions heating up between Russia and NATO. So those are signs of wars and rumors of wars. It says U.S. tries to recruit Maduro's pilot to kidnap plot, which that's kind of crazy report. This is a news article from RT.com. As we see in the book of Revelations 13, verse 16, verse 18 is increasing, and especially with these 15-minute cities, smart cities, especially with this AI technology, because they were trying to replace human beings on the jobs with these robots. As I add a sad note to that, it says this is October 28th, 2025 from RT.com. It reads, it says Amazon announces mass layoffs amiding the AI push. The U.S. tech giant is cutting 14,000 corporate jobs. It says the U.S. retail and tech giants Amazon has announced thousands of jobs cut, citing a need to restructure to focus on AI. It says the companies will cut more than 14,000 corporate jobs. And keep this in mind. What was that? A couple months ago, they was having discussions of the potential. You got these package drivers of all nationalities here in America. Do delivery drive jobs. For Amazon. Now they came with the potential with discussion, potentially of using robot drivers to replace, the actual human being drivers. So they are in discussion of that as well too. It says the U.S. retails and tech giants Amazon announced thousands of job cuts, citing a need to restructure and focus on the AI. The companies will cut about 14,000 corporate jobs and 4% reductions in its officials' workforce. According to their statement published on the Tuesday, adding that the AI is enabling companies to innovate much faster than ever before. It says staffs in the U.S., Canada, Europe has been informed of the layoffs, according to the internal Slack post viewed by businesses insiders. The layoffs are the company's biggest since 2023, when 27,000 people, 27 jobs were cut globally. Since 2024, the tech giant has committed about 40 billion for data center projects in the U.S. as it's built up its infrastructure to try to compete with OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Meta, and others. Earlier this month, Senator Bernie Sanders, the ranking member of the U.S. Senate Committee of Health and Education, Labors, and Pensions, warned that technology is being leveraged primarily to increase corporate profits and concentrate wealth. He pointed to executives who have been announced significant investments, automation, concurrently with massive layoffs and other cost-cutting measures. The layoffs at Amazon comes amiding a wider trend of corporation giants eliminating tens of thousands of positions as they intensify automation. Data from tracking layoffs .fyi indicates that nearly 113,000 tech employees were let go among the 218 tech firms global this year. Two of American biggest tech firms announced cut jobs this year as they recognize around artificial intelligence. Microsoft plans to shed 6,000 roles, about 3% of its staff. It says that while the Alphabet has trimmed hundreds around the Android Pixel and Chrome team, Intel is reporting preparing to cut more than a fifth of its workforce, and Apple laid off more than 600 employees last year. A part of the AI factors like sluggish revenues growth and global economy instability are reportedly also driving the restructuring.
Try making this more of an elf thing. I might have used the elf word.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus.
The elf word? Elf word. Sam's gonna be so mad.
Right, so while we're seeing more and more of this AI push, especially with these AI employment jobs trying to replace human beings with these robots. And this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 3. Yep, Ecclesiastes 12, verse 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house should tremble and the strong men should bow themselves and the grinder cease because you're a few. Right, so it's going to be an increase in grinder cease because you're a few. They're trying to replace with this AI technology, with this AI employment, smart cities, 15-minute cities, and they're pushing up this AI robots trying to replace human beings on these jobs, especially these technology jobs, of these good, well-known company jobs. Potentially laying a lot of people off due to reconstruction as they focus more and more on AI. Yep, it says, and the grind cease because of. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house should tremble and the strong men should bow themselves, and the grind cease because of a few, and those that look up winter should be darkened. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 4, it says, the door should be shut in the streets when the sound of the grind is low. Right, we see the signs of it, that's going to come to full effect. It says, and he rises of the verse and the verse of the birds and all the doors of music brought low. Now it gets at Revelation the 13th chapter as we see this AI technology. This is Revelations, matter of fact, Revelations 12, verse 4. Yeah, with this automation and this AI technology, which is increasing because Daniel's mentioned that. Yeah, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4. Without ordained shut the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro. Knowledge should be increased. Right, so knowledge should be increased with this AI technology. As it says again, Amazon announces massive layoffs amid the AI push work with the artificial intelligence, trying to use robots to replace human beings on these jobs. And this is another sign of wars, or rumors of wars, Matthew's the 24th chapter. And it says from RT.com as of October 28th, 2025, and it reads, World News, Netanyahu orders a immediately powerful strike on Gaza. Hamas said it halted the transfer of bodies of deceased hostages, citing a ceasefire violation by Israel. It says the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Tuesday ordered a new round of immediate and powerful strikes on Gaza. The announcement was made shortly after Israeli troops allegedly came under attack in the south of the Palestine enclave. Right on the heels of Netanyahu order, Hamas said it will postpone the handover of the bodies of another deceased of the Israeli hostages scheduled for today due to the violations of the occupation, according to Palestinian militant group. The body was recovered early in the day during the search operations is one of the tunnels south of the Gaza Strip. It says, according to the Israeli media reports, apart from the strikes, Netanyahu also ordered the IDF to expand its zones of the control in Gaza. The Prime Minister is now reportedly discussing the move with senior U.S. officials. The incident preceded that a new flare-up reportedly occurring in the southern Gaza city and Rafah earlier in the day. The Israelis attacked stations that came under small arm attacks and returned fire, while some it says that while some reports also indicated Israeli artillery was shellings in the area. It says Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire early October under the Trump 20-point peace plan. Under the scheme, Hamas agrees to release all the Israeli hostages and return the remaining of the deceased. The group was quick to free 20 captives and to transfer 12 bodies, yet the process has somewhat stalled. It says two sides has repeatedly traded accusations of violating the trust. A major flare-up occurring on October 19th when when Israel accused the militant groups of attacking the positions in the south of the enclave, launching a retaliatory strikes. They killed at least 44 people across the Gaza. Israel launched its military operation in Gaza in response to the Hamas surprise attack, which 1,200 people were unalive and 200 others was taken to hostage in October 2023. The hostilities caused a widespread destruction in the Palestinian enclave, while most of its roughly 2 million residents end up internally displaced. According to the local health authorities, at least 68,000 Palestinians have been unalive and more than 170,000 injured over the past 2 years. It's the book of Luke 21. This is the Gospel of Luke 21, verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth, which stresses nations, what perplexes verse 1, right as we see, because we're seeing the tensions are heating up between the nations. And Yahweh Shai showing us these signs in the sun and the moon and upon the earth, which stresses nations, what perplexes verse 1. As it says again, Netanyahu orders immediately powerful strikes on Gaza. This is First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction come upon them, as it shall one but child shall not escape. It's the book of the prophet Joel, chapter 3 verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, right, which is the arms of the other nations. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. All the men of war draw near, not to come up. Right, so despite the fact they have a ceasefire between both sides under that Donald Trump 20-point peace plan deal, we know releasing hostages, releasing unalive the Israelis, and the release of the prisoners from the Palestinians on both sides. So ever since then, the ceasefire it been holding on, but you've been having Hamas and Israelis once again accusing each other of violating ceasefires. So this is a sign of wars and rumors of wars, nation against nations, going to continue to heat up between, Hamas and Hamas versus the Israel Defense Force. So tensions are still going to heat up over there in that area, despite the fact they have the ceasefire deal. This is the prophet Joel 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near to come up. Right, so you see those Ishmaelites are in that warlike mindset. They still gonna resist against those Israel Defense Force. You got the pro-Iranian groups. They still gonna continue to resist against the Israel Defense Force, and all those proxy groups and all the pro-Iranian groups still gonna be rising up against the Israel Defense Force. And this is definitely being, the Heavenly Father definitely putting that warlike mindset. He's definitely waking up the mighty men of these arms of nations as they clash against one another with these nuclear escalations and tensions are heating up, despite the fact they might, despite the fact they're trying to ease the tensions, despite the fact they might have ceasefire deals, which in agreement. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near to come up right over there in Western Asia. Joel 3 verse 10, beat your plowshares and the swords and the plenty of the spears like the weak sound strong. Right, you got Hamas, the Houthi rebels, Hamas, what you call that other group? Right, Hezbollah and Hamas, they still going to be in that warlike mindset, going against the Israel Defense Force, despite the fact they have a ceasefire deal they're playing over there in Lebanon, over there in the Gaza Strip. Yep, so you're going to have all the proxy groups and the pro-Iranian groups, all of them still going to continue to rise up against the Israel Defense Force. So expect to see the Israel Defense Force going to continue to do that multi-front war over there in the Middle East, which is Western Asia. We're starting to see that the weak sound strong rising up against them on a daily basis. But it said, beat your plowshares with swords and the plenty hooks with the spears, let the weak sound strong. So expect to see the Houthi rebels, pro-Iranian groups continue to use airstrikes against the Israel Defense Force over there in southern Israel, over there in central Israel, And they're over there in Tel Aviv, in those airport areas, they're going to continue to use airstrikes against them because you still got the Houthi rebels are still in solidarity with Hamas and Hezbollah and the Palestinians as well too. So they still going to be in that mindset. It's the book of Revelations. Then I'm closed out. It's the book of Revelations 11 verse 14. The second will pass, behold the third will come quickly. Right, so the second will pass, behold the third will come quickly. So with that, hopefully this sit down lesson was edifying of the prophecy updates as of October the 28th, 2025 on this Tuesday night. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Hashem Wakakadash, and the Heavenly Father. But your name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Mashwakadash tongue. And I say Barakathon to the elders and apostles, while I give my akwath until next time. I would say Shalom.